So, you finally got your motorcycle. The keys are in your pocket, your helmet strapped on, and you're ready to rule the streets in 2025. But before you twist that throttle and disappear into the horizon, let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention: habits. Because here's the truth. Crashes don't always come from bad luck. Most of the time, they come from the little things riders do every single day without even realizing it. Tiny mistakes, nervous habits, bad routines that pile up until one day they cash in all at once, and suddenly you're learning physics the hard way. In this video, we're breaking down the 15 beginner motorcycle habits that can get you killed. Habits that make you look shaky to other riders, unpredictable to drivers, and dangerous to yourself. If you're guilty of even one of these, don't panic. Every single rider has been there. The key isn't feeling bad, it's fixing it. We'll cover everything from subtle posture mistakes and gear shortcuts to overconfidence and outright laziness. And I promise, even if you've been riding a while, a few of these will hit closer to home than you'd like to admit. Stick around, because breaking these habits isn't just about looking like a confident rider. It's about staying alive, saving money, and actually enjoying the ride instead of white-knuckling your way through it. All right, let's kick things off with number 15, a mistake that's small, embarrassing, and surprisingly deadly if you keep doing it. Number 15, forgetting turn signals. This one feels small, but it's a classic beginner mistake that can cause big problems. You flick your signal on, make your turn, and then completely forget about it. 5 minutes later, it's still clicking, telling everyone around you that you're about to turn again, when you're not. Or worse, you get so caught up juggling the clutch, throttle, and traffic that you don't bother signaling at all. Here's the danger. Drivers make split-second decisions based on those little flashing lights. Leave your signal on, and someone might assume you're slowing to turn and pull right into your path. Forget to use it, and the driver behind you has no idea you're about to change lanes until it's too late. Either way, you just turned yourself into an unpredictable hazard. Unlike cars, most motorcycles don't have self-canceling turn signals. It's your responsibility to switch them off. That means it has to become a habit. Tap them off after every turn, even if you're not sure. And don't ever skip signaling, because no driver is a mind reader. And on two wheels, predictability equals survival. Number 14, skipping proper gear. You've probably heard someone say, "It's just a quick ride, I don't need all the gear." Sneakers, jeans, maybe a hoodie, and off they go. It feels easier. It feels casual. But here's the harsh truth. The pavement doesn't care how far you're going or what you're wearing. Skipping proper gear is one of the fastest ways to turn a minor spill into a trip to the hospital. At just 30 miles per hour, sliding across asphalt will shred through denim in less than a second. Your hands, knees, and elbows don't stand a chance without protection. Even short rides to the store can end with broken bones, road rash, or worse. And don't fool yourself into thinking a helmet alone is enough. A helmet saves your head, but the rest of your body is still a target. The fix is simple. Make full gear non-negotiable. Helmet, gloves, jacket, pants, boots. Every time, every ride. Modern riding gear is lighter, cooler, and more comfortable than ever, so excuses don't hold up. If you think putting gear on is inconvenient, try spending weeks in recovery because you skipped it. Gear doesn't make you look like a beginner. It makes you look like a rider who plans on staying alive. Number 13, riding in blind spots. Every car on the road has blind spots, those hidden zones where mirrors can't see you. And one of the most dangerous beginner habits is sitting in them, cruising along like you're invisible, because that's exactly what you are. The driver has no idea you're there until they start drifting into your lane. By the time you react, it can be too late. Beginners often fall into this trap because it feels comfortable. You're not tailgating, you're not right in front of the car, and you're keeping pace with traffic. But in reality, you've parked yourself in the riskiest spot possible. If the driver decides to change lanes or swerves without warning, you're in their crosshairs. The fix is simple, but takes discipline. If you can't see the driver's face in their mirror, assume they can't see you either. Don't linger next to cars. Pass quickly and decisively, or drop back so you're clearly visible. And always give yourself an escape route. Never box yourself in between vehicles. Remember, staying out of blind spots isn't about riding scared. It's about making sure drivers know where you are. Because being invisible on a motorcycle might feel safe, but it's actually the most dangerous place you can be. Number 12. Poor clutch and throttle control. Every beginner rider has been there, stalling at a light, lurching forward like you're on a mechanical bull, or revving the engine so high it sounds like you're auditioning for MGPT. Poor clutch and throttle control is one of the most obvious signs of inexperience, and it's not just embarrassing, it's dangerous. When you stall in the middle of an intersection, you become a sitting duck. When you dump the clutch too quickly, you risk popping the front wheel or jerking into traffic. And when you roll the throttle like an on-off switch instead of a volume knob, you upset the bike's balance, making cornering unstable and unpredictable. The fix comes down to patience and practice. Find an empty parking lot and spend time learning your bike's friction zone, the sweet spot where the clutch engages smoothly. Pair that with small, steady throttle inputs instead of sudden twists. Think of it like turning up the volume on a radio, not flipping a light switch. Smooth clutch and throttle control transforms your riding instantly. The bike stops feeling like a wild animal and starts responding like a partner. Nail this habit early, and you'll not only look more confident, you'll actually be safer everywhere you ride. Number 11. Riding tired or sleep-deprived. You wouldn't ride drunk, but riding while exhausted is nearly the same thing, and beginners often underestimate just how dangerous it is. Fatigue slows your reflexes, clouds your judgment, and makes it harder to spot hazards in time. On a motorcycle, where every second counts, that lag can be the difference between braking safely or crashing hard. The scary part is that tired riders don't always realize how impaired they are. You might feel just a little drowsy or think a coffee will fix it, but fatigue creeps up quietly. Your head starts to bob, your eyes glaze over, and suddenly that stop sign or merging car catches you off guard. At highway speeds, even a 1-second delay in reaction is dozens of feet too late. The fix is straightforward. Respect your limits. If you're yawning, zoning out, or struggling to keep focus, pull over. Take a break, grab water, or better yet, call it a day. Long rides should always include planned rest stops, not just fuel stops. Riding tired is like gambling with your life. The road isn't going anywhere, but if you push yourself past exhaustion, you just might not make it back. Number 10. Death grip on handlebars. Every rider has seen it. The beginner clinging to the handlebars like they're dangling off a cliff. Knuckles white, arms stiff, body locked up. It's called the death grip, and while it might feel safer to hold on tight, it actually makes you less stable and way more likely to lose control. Here's why. Motorcycles are designed to balance themselves. When you're tense and squeezing the bars with all your strength, you're fighting against that natural balance. Every bump, wobble, or gust of wind transfers straight into your arms and shoulders. Instead of absorbing the movement, your body exaggerates it, making the bike feel twitchy and unpredictable. The death grip also wears you out fast. After 20 minutes of white-knuckling, your arms ache, your shoulders burn, and your hands start to go numb. Fatigue sets in, and now you're too tired to react properly when something unexpected happens. The fix is all about relaxation. Keep a light but firm hold, elbows slightly bent, and let the bike move beneath you. Grip the tank with your knees for stability, not the bars. Remember, the handlebars are for steering, not for hanging on. Loosen your grip, and suddenly the bike feels smoother, more predictable, and far easier to control. Number 9. Ignoring pre-ride checks. Beginner riders love to do this. Hop on the bike, hit the starter, and roll out without giving their machine a second glance. It feels fine at first, until the day something goes wrong. A soft tire, a loose chain, or low brake fluid can turn an ordinary ride into a roadside breakdown, or worse, an accident you never saw coming. Unlike cars, motorcycles don't have the luxury of 4 wheels or extra safety systems. You've only got 2 tires keeping you upright, and every part has to work perfectly. If your chain snaps, if your tire blows, or if your brakes fade, you don't have backups. One failure can end the ride instantly. That's why smart riders do a quick pre-ride check every single time. It doesn't need to be complicated. Look at your tires. Are they inflated? No visible cuts or nails. Check your chain for proper tension. Squeeze the brakes and make sure they feel firm. Glance at your lights and signals. It takes less than 2 minutes, but it can save your life. Skipping pre-ride checks is basically gambling. Sooner or later, luck runs out. Make it a habit now, and you'll prevent small issues from ever becoming big disasters. Number 8. Target fixation in corners. Every beginner rider knows the feeling. You roll into a corner. It feels too sharp or too fast, and suddenly your eyes lock onto the guardrail, the curb, or that patch of gravel. Your brain screams, "Don't hit it," and that's exactly where you end up going. This is target fixation, and it's one of the most dangerous habits new riders develop. Motorcycles naturally follow your line of sight. Wherever your eyes go, your body and handlebars tend to follow. When you stare at the hazard, you steer straight into it. Panic makes it worse. You stiffen up, grab the brakes mid-corner, and the bike stands up or loses traction. In seconds, you've gone from a simple turn to a crash. The fix is mental and physical. First, trust your bike. Even cruisers have more lean angle than most beginners think. Second, train your eyes to look through the corner, not at the obstacle. Your vision should always lead your motion. Finally, practice counter-steering. A gentle push on the inside bar to lean smoothly into the turn. Target fixation turns fear into a magnet. Breaking the habit means retraining your focus, because the road goes where you look, not where you hope. Number 7. Overconfidence after a few months. The most dangerous beginner isn't the shaky rider stalling at every light. It's the one who's been riding a few months, feels comfortable, and starts thinking they've got it all figured out. Overconfidence sneaks in quietly. You stop being nervous, you start riding faster, maybe you skip practice, and suddenly you're taking risks your skills can't back up. Here's the problem. Basic riding skills aren't advanced riding skills. Sure, you can shift smoothly, take a few corners, and handle traffic. But what happens when a car cuts you off at highway speed? Or when you hit gravel mid-turn? Confidence won't save you. Experience and practiced reactions will. Many beginners crash not in their first week, but in their first year, because they stop respecting how much they don't know. The fix is humility. Ride within your limits, keep practicing emergency maneuvers, and remember that survival isn't about looking like a pro. It's about staying alive long enough to become one. The best riders know they're always learning. The moment you think you've mastered motorcycling is the moment the road proves you wrong. Number 6. Not practicing emergency maneuvers. Most new riders think passing the licensing test means they're ready for anything. But here's the truth. You'll face situations on the road that no test ever prepared you for. A car slams its brakes, a dog darts out, or traffic suddenly swerves. If you've never practiced emergency maneuvers, your instincts will fail you when it matters most. Emergency braking, swerving, and quick lane changes aren't just advanced tricks. They're survival skills. But beginners often avoid practicing them because they feel awkward, scary, or unnecessary. They think, "I'll figure it out when I have to." The problem is, in a real emergency, there's no time to figure anything out. Your body will only do what you've drilled into it. The fix is simple, but requires effort. Find an empty parking lot and practice hard stops from different speeds. Work on quick swerves around cones or obstacles. Push yourself safely, so those reactions become automatic. Even 10 minutes a week can sharpen your instincts dramatically. On a motorcycle, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to your level of practice. If you haven't practiced, your level is panic, and panic won't save you. Skill and repetition will. Number 5, ignoring weather conditions. The sky looks a little gray, the road's damp, but you shrug and ride like it's a sunny afternoon. That's a beginner mistake that can turn dangerous fast. Ignoring weather conditions is one of the most common ways riders lose control. Not because the bike can't handle it, but because the rider doesn't adjust. Rain is the biggest culprit. Wet pavement cuts your grip in half. Painted lines and manhole covers turn into ice rinks, and your braking distance nearly doubles. Add oil or diesel on the road, and you're suddenly skating instead of riding. Wind can be just as bad. A sudden gust pushes you across the lane if you're not ready. Even heat and cold matter. Extreme heat dehydrates you faster than you think, and cold reduces your reaction times. The fix: respect the conditions. Slow your entry speed into corners. Give yourself extra following distance, and make your input smoother. No sudden throttle or brake grabs. Wear proper gear for the weather so you're focused, not distracted by sweat or shivers. Mother Nature doesn't care if you're confident or careful. If you don't adapt your riding, the weather will do it for you. And you won't like the result. Number 4, terrible body positioning. Some beginners ride like they're sitting on a park bench. Back stiff, arms locked, feet pointing every which way. Others lean the wrong way in corners, fighting the bike instead of flowing with it. Terrible body positioning doesn't just look awkward. It makes every part of riding harder and more dangerous. Here's why. Motorcycles are designed to lean and move naturally. When your body resists that motion, you upset the bike's balance. Leaning away from a turn, for example, forces the bike to fight against you, making it harder to hold a smooth line. Sitting bolt upright through bumps transfers every jolt into your spine and arms. Even simple mistakes, like letting your outside foot dangle off the peg, reduce your stability when you need it most. The fix is to ride with the bike, not against it. Keep your arms loose, your knees gripping the tank, and your head turned toward where you want to go. In corners, lean slightly with the bike instead of trying to stay vertical. Think of yourself as part of the machine, not just a passenger. Good body position makes riding smoother, more comfortable, and far safer. Bad body position? It makes every turn a fight you don't need to have. Number 3, stalling or late gear changes. Every beginner has felt that sinking moment. You're pulling away from a light, the bike shudders, and stall. Or the opposite, you're cruising in the wrong gear, the engine screaming like it's about to explode. Poor shifting habits might seem harmless at first, but they can quickly become dangerous. When you lug the engine, staying in too high a gear at low speed, the bike feels sluggish, shakes violently, and struggles to respond. That delay can leave you stranded in the middle of an intersection or unable to accelerate out of danger. On the other side, holding a gear too long or constantly bouncing off the red line doesn't just waste fuel. It makes the bike harder to control, wears out components faster, and distracts you from traffic. The fix is learning your bike's power band. Every engine has a happy zone where it pulls smoothly and consistently. Spend time listening and feeling for that sweet spot instead of staring at the tack. Shift early enough to avoid lugging, but not so late that you're redlining. Smooth, deliberate gear changes make the bike predictable, and predictability is safety. Master your shifts, and your ride instantly feels smoother, safer, and way more under control. Number 2. Riding short trips without gear. It's one of the most common beginner excuses. I'm just going around the corner. I don't need all my gear. You throw on a helmet, maybe gloves, and head out in jeans and sneakers. It feels harmless, but here's the truth. The road doesn't care if your ride is 5 miles or 5 minutes. Crashes can, and do, happen anywhere, especially close to home. Most accidents occur within a few miles of where riders live, because that's where they ride most often and where they feel most relaxed. The problem is, pavement at 25 miles per hour is just as unforgiving as pavement at 70. A small spill in a parking lot or a neighborhood street can still shred unprotected skin, break bones, and leave scars that last a lifetime. The fix is to treat every ride the same. Helmet, jacket, gloves, boots, and riding pants. No exceptions. Modern gear is designed to be breathable and comfortable, so even short errands don't have to feel like overkill. If putting gear on feels like a hassle, just remember how long recovery feels when you skip it. There are no safe, short trips. There are only prepared riders and unprepared ones who learn the hard way. Number 1. Trusting every driver. If there's one habit that puts beginners in danger more than anything else, it's trusting other drivers. You might think, I have the right of way, they'll see me. But here's the harsh truth. Many drivers don't see you. Some aren't looking, and others are too distracted to care. Assuming they'll do the right thing is one of the fastest ways to get yourself hurt. Motorcycles are small. One headlight, a slim profile, and you can vanish in a blind spot without even trying. Add in texting, music, or just plain bad driving, and suddenly that car turning left in front of you isn't stopping, because they never noticed you in the first place. The fix is adopting a healthy level of defensive riding. Assume you're invisible. Keep space around you, make eye contact with drivers when possible, and always have an escape route in mind. Ride like you expect someone to cut you off, because eventually, someone will. Trusting every driver is a beginner's mistake. Experienced riders don't ride scared, but they do ride prepared. Out on the road, your safety doesn't come from trust. It comes from awareness, positioning, and expecting the unexpected. So there you have it. 15 beginner motorcycle habits that can put you in serious danger if you don't break them. Some of these might sound familiar, and that's okay. Every rider has been guilty of at least a few of them, especially in those early months. The important thing isn't beating yourself up. It's recognizing the habits and replacing them with smarter, safer ones. Because here's the truth. Riding a motorcycle is one of the most rewarding experiences you can have, but it doesn't forgive mistakes. The road won't cut you slack just because you're new, and other drivers won't magically protect you. Survival and enjoyment come from discipline, practice, and awareness. If you fix just one of these habits this week, you'll already be a safer, smoother, and more confident rider than you were yesterday. Keep building from there, and the skills will stack up faster than you think. And if this list helped you, don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and join a community of riders who want to ride smarter, not just faster. Then check out the next video on your screen. It dives even deeper into the myths and mistakes that every rider needs to know. Stay sharp, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.